Yo, Lucha Libre Addict 187 here. I'm gonna be talking about AAA, the promotion. So AAA started back in 1992, May 15, by Antonio Peña. He used to be a CMLL booker, a writer for CMLL. He decided he didn't like the way things were being run over there. He wanted to start his own promotion, so he asked a couple of guys to see if they would help him start his own promotion. One of the guys was Conan. He said yes, and AAA started. AAA at the time, they had fresh superstars, but they also had familiar wrestlers and popular wrestlers like Conan. Because Conan back in the day was like Hulk Hogan. He was the most popular wrestler, like the biggest baby face in Mexico. So that really helped them a lot. And AAA was also being innovative, having more storylines to their mix than CMLL was. But AAA really took off once they got their TV deal and then they had their own pay-per-view. It was called When Worlds Collide in 1994. It took place in California, so it was being filmed live in California and broadcasted on pay-per-view in Mexico and in California, a couple other places. It featured people like Rey Mysterio, Juventud, Eddie Guerrero, Conan, La Parca, all these great wrestlers. AAA, so AAA was being very innovative for a Mexican promotion, having their biggest event of the year, Triple Mania, which is their version of WrestleMania, having Triple Mania 4 live from Chicago, Illinois, and then 4 years later, having Triple Mania 8 live from Japan. AAA, the Japan one, it was like an inter-promotional show. It was like AAA's matches alongside AAA versus the Japan promotion. So it was a very entertaining show. In 2006, Antonio Peña, the founder of AAA and the owner, the president, passed away. He died of a heart attack. But just before he died, he patched things up with Conan because they had a rough patch. But they were lucky enough to work out their disagreements before he died. He was mad that Conan left AAA and went to WCW and ECW, and you know TNA went to the United States, and he took other guys with him like Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Psychosis, a bunch of other wrestlers, La Parca, Juventud. He just helped a lot of guys leave AAA, so that kind of made Antonio Peña mad. But they worked it out, so that's why Conan returned to AAA back in late '06 when he was like being let go from TNA. Another reason why Antonio Peña started AAA was because he wanted to give other people a shot, like the young wrestlers that like they had to work in the independent scene in Mexico before they even made it to the big time like CMLL, and he also wanted to let the foreigners, like people from the United States, come into Mexico because CMLL was started because of the same reason, wanting to let other people from other countries come into Mexico, but they still didn't do it that much. So that's why Antonio Peña started his own promotion. He wanted to be AAA to be open to anyone, and he wanted to make AAA the biggest thing in Mexico and in the world. AAA in the beginning had a lot of great stars like La Parca, Octagon, Conan, Cibernetico, Abismo Negro, Blue Panther, Fuerza Guerrera, Rey Mysterio Jr., Eddie Guerrero, a lot of the young guys. The first Triple Manias just showed the way AAA was gonna be for the difference between AAA and CMLL. Like there was an event, I think it was Triple Mania 9 or 7. There was a match between Juice and Thunder Liger, La Parca, and Octagon versus Eddie Guerrero, Fuerza Guerrera, and I think it was Conan. But yeah, AAA just showed, they were trying to get involved with other promotions and wanted to get involved with great wrestling, and that's what they're doing nowadays too. AAA has a great roster right now as well. I'll get to that in a second. But right now I want to talk about all the stars that have come through AAA for more than like one appearance. Stay there for some time, be part of the storyline with Conan's Foreign Legion, things like that. There's been guys like X-Pac, Scott Hall, Ron the Truth Killings, our Truth. He was actually there when he wasn't coming out in TNA and before he went to WWE. He was there for like a couple months coming out in AAA. Because him and Conan are friends. He was part of Conan's Foreign Legion. Bryan Danielson, which also came out in the biggest event of the year, Triple Mania 16. He was one of the biggest shows there. Rikishi, Roxy from TNA when she got fired the first time. Mark Jindrak, Kenzo Suzuki, El Hijo del Santo, legendary wrestler. Jake the Snake Roberts back in the day had a match with Conan back in the 90s. Hair versus title match or something. I think, yeah, Conan lost. That's when he got his hair cut off. His hair cut off and started being bald. Hernandez is there right now. People think he's out because of the TNA thing, but he's not. He's just coming out in AAA. Sabu's been through there, and he came back. He came back recently, a couple weeks ago. So Sabu's back in AAA. You had guys like Morishima, former ROH World Champion, in AAA. Another Noah promotion guys like Kenta. It's been in AAA. Made the AAA roster right now. I think it's one of the best rosters out there in professional wrestling. We have guys like Extreme Tiger, Alex Kozlov, Rocky Romero, Jack Evans, Teddy Hart, Black Abyss, which is like the tribute guy to Abismo Negro, Cybernetico, Messias, who's wrestled all over the world, TNA, Puerto Rico, Wrestling Society X, Mexico, Japan, Conan. You have both La Parca and the original La Parca, also known as LA Park. He's the one most of you guys know by from WCW. That's LA Park. Just recently came back to AAA, starting a rivalry with La Parca, to fight over the name.
Finalmente, nuevamente van en cortito cómo se está desarrollando esta lucha, porque aquí es más el coraje que las llaves, que las contrallaves. Bien la patada ahí. El público forma parte de esta lucha.
Yo lo único que preguntaría, nadie puede ayudar al vampiro. Sabemos que son tres, nadie, no tiene a
el vampiro, hay que esperar. Viene Micho. ¡Ay! ¡Ah! ¡Qué bien conecta! ¡Qué bien conecta ahí el vampiro! Bueno, pues